Hey, it's Steve. We're here in my backyard with my homemade smoker. We're going to take you along and show you the process of smoking wild sockeye salmon. All right, so this is my homemade smokehouse. I made it from pretty much the scraps when we got done building our house 12 years ago. And it's just rough cut hemlock. I put cinder blocks in the ground, and they're not anchored anyway. And I just built a pressure treated frame and built a one pitch roof. I like larger size smokehouse because we'll be butchering deer here pretty soon. We can put about 100 pounds of bologna, kibasi, sausage in here. We'll also smoke deer hams and quite a bit of salmon throughout the year. So it works out great for what I need in my family. We pretty much put up all our own food. Again, nothing special. It's kind of fun to build things like this because you just kind of use the materials you have and put it together. So you can see that we've smoked quite a bit in here by the color of the wood and the soot that's in there. I like a smokehouse that's got ventilation, so I don't put battens over my boards where they meet, because I want the air to kind of flow through and that smoke to kind of keep going. And it also works well with the style of the fire. So I just got a stone floor in it, and then we'll take this pan with our fire in it, set it right in the middle, and then add our smoked wood. And for starters, I'll take this lid and I'll just set the lid on top, and it'll help make it smolder. So this is what I use to control my heat and my smoke, is by putting this on or off to get the temperature and the amount of smoke I need. This guy's just in here for when I have hot fires and I'm trying to get stuff to like 160 degrees. It's a little safety shield. In the winter, you have to have a bigger fire because with the ventilation, and there's not the insulation that other smokers have. So when it's below 32, you just have to have a stronger fire, and windy days takes a little longer. But one of the things that I'd like to stress is, this is a process that isn't precise. You can smoke salmon today, if the temperatures are good outside to let it hang. You can smoke it, let it go out, start a fire when you come home from work, let it go out overnight, start another fire. You don't have to have it all done exactly at one time. All right, so we're gonna get started building the fire for the smoker. So I just take some scraps out of my wood shop, chop them up into kindling. Today we're using, this is maple, and then once we put the actual smoking wood on, that will be a combination of both maple and cherry, black cherry. My favorite variety for smoking wild sockeye is maple, and I think it just has a nice mild smoked flavor to it. It's closest to alder, which is kind of like a Pacific Northwest species, and it's a favorite smoking wood for salmon in the Pacific Northwest. So I've enjoyed that. Some of the other options are sassafras, hickory, apple, any of the fruit woods. Fruit woods tend to have a little bit kind of sweeter smoke to them. Hickory will be kind of more stronger, pronounced. I think it takes away from the salmon taste. Also, you can use mesquite, and that's has a fairly strong smoke flavor as well. And basically, you just want your fire to smolder. Once you get your hot bed of ashes and you stick some wet green wood on there, which is what I prefer because it smolders and doesn't ignite as quick. And so you just want that to smolder for the first 4 hours, 5 hours of the process, and let that smoke penetrate this fish. Once you've got a good smoke on the fish, then I'll take and turn the heat up by adding more wood, maybe giving it a little bit more air, and then I'll take it to about 135 degrees roughly over the next couple hours and finish it off at that point. All right, so we're gonna mix up a brine solution today to get ready to brine and then smoke 3 fillets of sockeye salmon. And it's roughly about 5 pounds of fish that we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna just do a simple traditional brine: salt, brown sugar, and regular sugar. So the fillet that we took out last night, just put in the fridge, thawed it out. It's completely thawed out. You want to have a good sharp knife so you don't destroy the fillet as you're cutting it. So for what we're doing today, making the salmon slice pieces, we're gonna take the fillet. I just kind of cut it in thirds. And then once it's cut in thirds, turn the fillet. You got to kind of put your finger back here to kind of just keep it. Again, a sharp knife is very important. And then I just cut about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch slices. shut the door, and I'm going to be here today, so I'm going to let it smolder for, you know, the next 4 hours, and I'll tend the fire as needed, put a little bit more heat on it if needed, add more green wood, and then at that point, after 4 hours, we'll start to add bigger chunks of wood, maybe a little drier wood, get the temperature up in the 135 degree range, and then it'll be done in about 8 hours.